Yep, it's on. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's on today. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Thursday, June 13th. We're going to be going over today's headlines, just making sure everybody is on line on all four networks, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube. So we're just making sure everybody is on. We don't have no issues with nobody's connections and stuff like that. We want to make sure you're on. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just checking to see if everybody is in the um, everybody is on. Because I love to have all four networks on today. So we'll make sure you're in the videos. So all four networks are on. So we're ready to roll. Okay, let's begin with today's headlines. I'll pull us up off the screens and we'll stop this. Okay, let's go ahead and go over some ESPN headlines today. Let's go ahead and look at. Okay, they talked about. I think this is the same story from last night. I think this is the same. No, it's a rehash of this of Kevin Durant's injury. So he did suffer a rupture Achilles. This came out at 8:30 this morning. So this is a rehash of it. I was showing you his picture in the hospital. So that's an update on Kevin Durant. So if you want to talk about Kevin Durant, you want to wish him well, you can send your comments. Okay, let's go ahead and go over some more news of the day. Okay, inside the short-lived AAF. Let's go ahead and look at that. Inside the short unhappy life of the Alliance of American Football, that I knew damn well that these these football um, programs, these organizations wasn't gonna last. I mean, just like I'm gonna tell you, just like the WWE. Um, just like the WWE's one XFL. That started back in 2001, and it didn't last. It didn't last a year. So that's one thing. That's a sign of a warning right there. Look, you cannot contend with the NFL. That's one thing you cannot do is contend with the NFL. You never will win because they got worldwide audience, and also they have sometimes their viewership goes down, but their viewership goes up and stuff like it's like a roller coaster at times. But the thing is, look, these if these organizations want to compete with the NFL, they gotta do a lot better than just be a fancy little league trying to outdo the NFL. That's one thing about it. So. So that's my take on it. If you want to talk about the Alliance of American Football short-lived season, you can send me your comments through the Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch comics sections. You can send it, watch it through Restream. You can give your takes and stuff like that. So we're waiting for somebody to come in. But like I said, look, if you want to contend, this is Charlie Imbecile. That's the founder of the AAF. This is the secret life of their of the organization. So look, Vince McMahon. Look, he can. See, like Vince McMahon, he can have a football league, the XFL. But the truth of the matter is, how are you going to compete with the NFL? How? That's your You got to have a plan, folks. You got to have a plan to compete with the NFL. You have to, because if you don't have a plan, I'm gonna tell you, your league will not last a year, or maybe a two. So That's one thing they have to understand. Look, sure, the NFL has been catching fire as of late, but the truth of the matter is, look, they do come through when the ratings go down. So that's one thing about it. So we're showing you this right here. These was the XFL former AAF players. So look, I look at it this way: they got to get some. If they want to be, if they put another league in next year or something like that, year after next, look, um, they're gonna have to have a plan. So that's one thing about it. A plan would work. A plan would will keep you from going down the going in the red. So that's my take on it. This is from let's see. I'm gonna pull this back up to the screen. Okay, this is from Sepp Wilksham and Michael Rothstein. You can reach them at ESPN. If you want to read the comment, the article, it's ESPN.com. Well, I'll just post it. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We talked about these headlines yesterday. Okay, let's talk about. Pull this up. Okay, Pats acquire tight end Michael Roberts from the Detroit Lions, so he's going to be going to the New England Patriots. So they are acquiring him in a trade, so that's going to be foregoing right now. So I look at it this way. That's this is the news headline. Okay, this is from the Detroit News. They've reported about it. So that's unfortunate. They're going to lose their tight end and Michael Roberts, but I'm pretty sure Detroit can get somebody in his place to play in the games. He had a career high 24 receptions with the Denver Broncos last season. So that's one thing about it. Look, they're going to look. The New England Patriots are going to load up with Arsenal. They're going to load up. That's one thing about it. Because they want to make another Super Bowl run. That's one thing before Tom Brady retires. So that's my take on it. This is from Mike Reese and Michael Rothstein. You can reach him at ESPN. That's ESPN.com. We will post this to the Facebook Facebook timeline. So I'll post it in just a second. Let me set this up and post this. Give it a post. Okay, it's posted. So we're just gonna have to wait. It's posted, so everything is posted onto the Facebook timeline for consumption. All right, next one. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about these 6 schools are in violation. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Okay, 6 schools will be notified of the serious NCAA violations. A high-ranking NCAA official told CBS Sports at least 6 of the men's basketball programs will receive notices of allegations of level 1 violations. The most serious infractions under the NCAA rules, and as a result of a federal government investigation into corruption in the sport. Stan Wilcox, he is the vice president of regulatory affairs with the NCAA. I don't know what schools will be involved in this. We're going to look at it. Okay, the assistants from the 4 schools were Arizona, Auburn, Oklahoma State, USC. pled guilty in accepting bribes from the aspect of business manager Christopher Dawkins. That is a slime ball and a half. This guy Christopher Dawkins, he was the biggest slime ball. Look, I mean, I don't know why these coaches get involved with these people like that, like Christian Dawkins. This guy's a slimy person right there. Look, he should be in prison for that shit. That's what he should be. Also, officials from Arizona, Kentucky, Louisville, North Carolina State, and also USC once again will be in some will be getting notices. So, and Louisville, that's one thing right there. They will not play with the NCAA when it comes down to corruption. They're going to crack down on it. They will send their notices. Look what happened back in the 80s with SMU's football program. Look what happened to them. They got the death penalty. They couldn't play football for at least 2 years. That right there is a money booster for the school, the football programs. That's a money booster, and it did devastate their school. And I think it was the academy or something like that in Texas back then. But the NCAA did away with the death penalty and just gave them probation and no postseason burp. So that's one thing they are going to be strict on. That's one thing they're going to be strict on. This is from Mark Slarup. You can reach him at ESPN. We'll have this posted over to the. Let me go put this on the screen. Turn this down, and I'll post this to Facebook in 1 second. Just give me a second to post this on Facebook. I'm gonna and I'll come back to the what we was talking about. So give me 1 second to post the news article to Facebook. We'll have it to Facebook. It's already been posted to Facebook. So if you want to talk about it, give me your take on it. Come on down, give me your take. What you think is going to happen to these 6 schools that will be getting notices about their violations. If you can send me your comments about it. So, okay, let's go ahead and go back. So that's what we're showing you today, and we also posted it to the Facebook timelines. So, I'm very busy right now. I ain't answering that. I'm very busy. All right, let's see what else we need to talk about today on this show. I don't think we got anything else on ESPN, so we're going to probably move along. Okay, we'll give you an update on the yesterday's Tiger tees off at 5:09 Eastern Time. This is at the Pebble Beach golf tournament. This is the leaders that's leading right now in the golf tournament. Also tonight is the Game 6 of the finals. Hopefully, whoever wins, most likely we'll have a Game 7, just like the NHL playoffs last night. Had a Game 7, the finals. Okay, update on the World Cup. Brazil's up 1-0. That's in the 27th minute. And China and South Africa will play later on at 1 o'clock. So that's 1 o'clock Central Time here in the Central Time Zone. Okay, that's the news updates on ESPN. Okay, let's go to Bleacher Report and get some news updates. Let's go ahead and give you pull this up. Okay, Jordan Speeder Speeder knows he is back. He is ready to um, prove it at the U.S. Open. So that's one of the articles we're looking at today. We'll post this to the Facebook comics section. Everything is going to be posted to Facebook. So let's go ahead and post it. Give you one. I got to get this posted in there, so it should be in there now. We'll post it. Okay, everything is posted to the Facebook comics section. It's attached on. Let me go ahead and pull this back. Okay, the image board. Okay, this is what we're talking about. This is the golfer that's trying to prove he's back at the U.S. Open. Jordan Spider. I'm saying his name right. This is the golfer. Look, showing you his article right now. We're showing you what they're talking about in this article. So I think he should come back. I mean, because look, to contend with Tiger Woods, he's a young man. So that's his article. If you want to talk about this what's your favorite golfer in the U.S. Open, you can give me your take on your favorite golfer in the U.S. Open. Just go to Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch via Restream. You'll be able we'll show you comments on the screen. I mean, we will do that. So. We'll have nobody right now. I know it's 11:30 in the morning. I know a lot of people's working. I understand that. Okay. Let's see. Next article we're going to be going over today. Everybody's on today, so it's I'm happy about that. Okay. Next article we'll be starting to go over. In 1 second, we'll wait for this because sometimes Bleacher Report kind of blanks out, but we get a. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the MLB most unappreciated power hitter of a generation. That's the unappreciated power hitter. This is the young guy, right? Eric. In Cayman, I'm trying to say his name. He's the first one. He's proven he slugged 32 home runs since 2012 at the age of 36. He clears the fence with 21 times out in 65 games. So he has roughly 48 homers. So that's one of the unappreciative players that's not appreciated by the fans or whoever. Okay, amongst the active players, he is 401 dingers leave him only behind Albert Pujols with 644 and Miguel Cabrera with 468 home runs. So that is one of the players that is very unappreciative. I mean, they're gonna have some. Here's the thing about this guy. The Mariners buried him last place in the AL West, 29-42. So right now, the Mariners right now they're not doing as good as advertised. So hopefully they could get some wins in the second half of the season. So this is as of Sean Dreyer. He's from 710 up in Seattle. He's talking about the young guy. And this picture we're showing you. This is the one that's very unappreciative. That's something right there. So I'll be honest with you. Look, they gotta appreciate this young man right here, because this guy hit some home runs. I mean, look, they can say all their favorite players. They can have all their favorite players they want. That's their right. But look, when you have unappreciative players like this young man right here, in Edwin and Kane one. I'm trying to say his name. It's a long name, but and we'll get through it. So I look at it this way. That's from Jacob Schaefer. You can reach him at Bleacher Report. That's Bleacher Report. Okay. Waiting on news article. Okay, let's say redrafting the 2009 NBA class. We'll go ahead and go through that. Give you 1 second to get it back up on the screen. Okay, redrafting the 2009 NBA class back at 10. Steph Curry and Epic 2009 class later. Steph Curry, look what he's doing now. This is 30 through 26. Okay, the next one was in that 2009 class was Jordan Hill. He was 30th picked by the that was number 30. He was picked 8th by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also, Marcus Thompson, Thornton. He was picked 43rd by the Los Angeles Lakers. Jared Henderson, 12th. He is 28th in that ranking. He was averaging 12.1 to 15.5 points a game. Also, the next guy is DeWine Blair. He's picked 37th by the Memphis Grizzlies back in 2009. That's almost 10 years ago. Omar Casper was picked 23rd, 25 through 21. Jonas Jabroko, I'm trying to say his name. He's ranked 39th. He was picked 39th and also 25th in the this thing ranking. Aaron Bonds, he was undrafted by the Dallas Mavericks. Also, Dante Cunningham was picked 33rd by the Sacramento Kings in the 2009 draft. Jordan Meeks, he's from Portland. He also was picked 41st in the 2009 NBA draft. Also, Garris Temple from the New Orleans Hornets. That's a name you should remember. He was from LSU. He was undrafted. He was with the New Orleans Hornets / New Orleans Pelicans before they was the Pelicans. Now 20 through 16. Let's go ahead and go through 20 through 16. Wayne Ellington. He's from he was picked by the he was picked 28th in the 2009 draft. His number is 20th, so he's the Utah Jazz. His career, he had 37.9% on three-point shots. So that's also Brandon Jennings. He was picked 10th overall by the Atlanta Hawks, and so that's so these players right here. This is the redrafts right here. Back in 2009, these are the players that was picked back in 2009 and 10 season. James Johnson, he was picked 16th overall. Also, Patrick Beverly. That guy, I'm gonna tell you, in the playoffs, he put up a good game in the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs when he was playing against I think it was the Warriors or somebody like that, or he was picked 42nd overall. Now, Patty Miles, he was picked 55th overall in the 2009 draft, 15 through 11. The Mario Carroll, he was picked 27th by the Detroit Pistons. He played for the new Indiana Pacers. Also, Joe Ingles was undrafted, so he was an undrafted player. So let's see. Okay, next one is Ty Lawson, he was picked 18th in the 2009 draft. Also, Tyreek Evans, he played with the I think it was New Orleans Pelicans or something like that a couple of years ago. But he played with Charlotte. He was picked by Charlotte, fourth overall. Um, let's see. Next guy over, Darian Collis. I think he's from LSU. He picked 21st, 10 through 6. This is 10 through 6. Ricky Rubio. He was playing. I think he was playing with the Memphis Grizzlies before he went to the Milwaukee Bucks. No, Utah Jazz. Sorry, my Utah Jazz. He was, and then he went to the Milwaukee Bucks. Jeff Teague. He's from the Toronto Raptors. He was picked 19th in the 2009 draft. Ty Gibson. He was picked 26 by the Knicks. Also, Danny Green, 46. Undrafted was Wesley Matthews, 5 through 1. DeMar DeRozan, so he's playing with San Antonio now. He was the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think it's going to have him. Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday came from Sacramento. He played with New Orleans currently. He was picked 17th overall. Blake Griffin, that one that jumped over the car and slam dunked in one of those All-Star games a couple of years ago. He was picked number 1. That was in the number 2 Memphis Grizzlies. James Harden was picked third overall, but he was he plays for the Houston Rockets. Steph Curry was picked 7th by the Los Angeles Clippers, but he got sent over to Golden State. So that is the draft picks that happened back in 2009, 10 years ago. So this is from BleacherReport.com. See anybody in here? Nope. Okay, ranking. Let's see. Ranking. Let's see. Wait a few minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and give you the talk about the rankings of every supporting quarterback supporting cast for 2019. This is the they want the ranking every NFL quarterback supporting cast for the 2019 season. Let's go ahead and give you the takes right here. Okay, 32. Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Dolphins. He's with Josh Rosen. So Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has running back Keelan Drake. Also Danny Amendola, and that's their 32nd. The Miami Dolphins. Next one, Sam Darnold with the New York Jets. He has running back. He has LeBron Bell joining, and also he has Robbie Anderson, Quincy Inkwa, and also 4th round pick Chris Hendon. So that's their supporting cast for the New York Jets. Case Keenum from the Washington Redskins. He has Dwayne Haskins, so that's he's going to have a battle with him. He has Adrian Peterson, the all-time rusher with 2,000 yards. Also, he has top receiver Doxson and Richardson as well. and also tight end Jerry Reed and Vernon Davis. So now Nick Foles, he's going to be let's see his supportive cast of he has running back Leonard Fournette. Hopefully he has a pretty good year. Leonard Fournette. Um, they have a third round pick in Josh Oliver. So I'm kind of a little skeptical about this group, but I'm pretty sure they most likely will be a productive unit this year during the 2019 football season. So also Lamar Jackson, the quarterback with the Ravens. Let's see with his talent. He's got Mark Ingram from he used to currently play here with the Saints, but he now plays with. He also has got a former Saint, Willie Snead. So that's going to be a pretty good combo right there. Also, Jordan Leslie, Miles Boykin, and Chris Moore. So that's going to be, and then Nick Boker. He's a tight end. He is in the tight end, special tight end. So that's going to be his cast of characters going into the season. Joe Flacco, the quarterback with the Denver Broncos. Let me see if I can post this, send this over to so people could come in. I got it on, still on. Let's switch this over. So we got everything switched over. So everything is switched over. So you can come in now. Anybody? Okay, Joe Flacco, the Denver quarterback. Let's go ahead and give you his cast of characters. That's going to be behind him during the season. Philip Lindsay, also coming off a Pro Bowl year. Emmanuel Sanders, he's at 32, so he's in his prime right now. He's behind that prime. Also, the shiny Noel Farts is also going to be a big impact. Hopefully, he comes back from his injuries, so that's most likely going to be okay. Eli Manning. Hopefully he gets a hopefully he turns the season around. Eli Manning, because look, New York fans are not going to be very pleased with this with his performance. They have Shaquan Barkley. He's entering his second season. Also, they now have free agent Golden State is established as not a starter. Sterling Shepard as well. Corey Coleman, Bernie Fowler, and Cody Lattimore. Also tight end Evan Ingram is also going to be on that cast of special team cast of characters. Now Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go ahead and give you his. They will have David Johnson. They will have Larry Fitzgerald. He's going to play. He's 35 years old. So hopefully he will hold up during the season. Also, Ricky Seals-Jones as well, and tight end Charles Clay. So I'm gonna tell you, if he can get his skill sets up and throw to those receivers, I'm gonna tell you he's gonna have a positive season for Kyler Murray. So that is yeah, okay. Number 24, Josh Allen. Josh Allen, the quarterback with Denver. Hopefully, LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore, because they got Frank Gore and LaShawn McCoy. Frank Gore and LaShawn McCoy, the Buffalo Bills. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the AFC East. So also they have deep threat guys in Cole Beasley and Josh Brown. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have some weapons to bear. Now, for Tom Brady's team, the New England Patriots, they're going to load up. I just told you about the acquisition. They got Sony Michaels. He averaged 4.5 yards per carry. Rex Buckhead, and also Damian Harris is also deep and versatile. That's going to be there. Also, Nikhil Harry also is going to be, and then Julian Edelman. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be poised to get back to the Super Bowl again. And deep and ugly threat. They don't. I don't think they have Gronk no more. So Gronk is retired. So Andy Dalton with the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's see. Okay, they have AJ Green. They also have Joe Nix. Let's see. In support, they also have Tyler Boyd, who broke out 1,028 yards, 7 touchdowns last season. Also, tight end CJ Umana is on UZOMAH. He's also going to be in the mix right there. So I look at it this way. There's going to be some now Big Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers. Let's see what they have. Since Antonio Brown and LeVon Bell both for another team, Bell's replacements are James Conner, Pro Bowler. He averaged 4.0 yards per attempt, and also Jalen Samuels, Juju Schuster. That's going to be he's going to be on there. And also Jesse James is also, and also Jesse James is gone. Vince McDaniel will be notable. So Vince McDaniel most likely will be a common threat for the defenses. So okay, the Carolina Panthers. So go ahead and go over them. They always got Christian McCaffrey. So only Shaquan Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott has more yards of scrimmage than Caffrey. Also at wide receiver, DJ Moore is a strong start. He has 67.1% of passes thrown his way for 788 yards. Derek Funges is with Derek Funges is gone. Now they're going to have to replace. They're going to have Julius Wright, Curtis Samuel, Torrey Smith, and also Chris Hogan for the Carolina Panthers. So now Marcus Mariota. Let's see what his he has Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had a third breakout season. He has 4.9 yards. He had 12 touchdowns. As at wide receiver, Corey Davis, All-Pro, and a promising sophomore season. Also, they have A.J. Brown, and also they have Adam Humphries as well. So that's going to be the wide receiver core for the Tennessee Titans. Also, the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson at quarterback. The running game, Marshawn. They have Chris Carson, has over 1,100 yards while scoring touchdowns. So, and then Rashad Perry, he also averaged 6.4. Now, per Pro Football Focus, Wilson has a perfect passer rating of 158.3 when thrown to starting wide receivers. So he's a pretty good. His quarterback passer rating is pretty good. For Seattle, so hopefully he has another successful season. He has a new wide receiver in DJ Metcalf, so that's going to be a combination right there for the Seahawks. So Also, Jameis Winston. I don't know if he's probably going to be playing this year. Jameis Winston. So he's probably going to be most likely. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, he will have a breakout year. But he had a shitty year last year with his quarterbacks. So meanwhile, Deshaun Jackson, AJ Adam Humphries, the number one guy is Mike Evans. He is. They always throw to him, Mike Evans. So that's going to be a threat right there and a half. So I look at it this way. That's very essential right there. Because if Tampa Bay wants to get back into the playoff mix and win the NFC South, they have to have very legitimate defense. They also have to have legitimate offense to bear. So that is my take. Darian Carr from the Oakland Raiders. Let's see what his stuff is. Okay. Big ticket offseason acquisition, Antonio Brown. So he came to the Oakland Raiders. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have some production out of Brown when they throw the ball. So they're going to have a production year out of Antonio Brown. So now Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson from Houston. Houston has Lamar Miller. He averages 4.6 yards per carries. Also, let's see, wide receivers. He has, I see, Hawkins. Last year, he was the most productive wide receiver, and also first round pick Will Fuller, the fourth, was disappointing, but I'm pretty sure they will have their and also Kiki Coty. I'm trying to say his name, and DeAndre Carter and Vincent Smith. So now Aaron Rodgers. This is going to be a very interesting year for the Packers under a new head coach. They have let's see, Aaron Jones, running back, also top wide receiver in Adams. He also came off a Pro Bowl campaign, so he was a Pro Bowl. He had more than 1,300 yards a game. Also, Jimmy Graham, the former Saint, so he just bounces around like a bowling ball. So he's going to be going to. He played with Seattle. Now he's playing with the Green Bay Packers. So. Okay, next one is Mitchell Trubisky. Last year they almost made it to the NFC championship game. They would have never missed that field goal. They would have gotten to the championship game, played the New Orleans Saints. But I'm pretty sure they're destined for another run this year for the playoffs and stuff like that. So let's see. Running backs. Howard. They have Howard, but also they have Allen Robinson and also Tyler Gable isn't stars, but I'm pretty sure once this season starts, they're going to be because they got the defense now, and what's his name? Trying to think of his name. They signed. They also have the tight end. They have Trey Burton. He has 6 touchdowns, 70% thrown his way. So I'm pretty sure they'll have. I mean, because they're known for their good defense. With the guy, he was drafted out of Oakland. I think his name. Trying to remember his name. I don't have off back, but I'll just go ahead and move along. Okay, Patrick Mahomes. This young man, I'm pretty sure this young man is entering his second season. He's going to have a productive year to bear with the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's going to have the running back. He has um, Keelan Hunt. Hopefully he will straighten himself out and try to focus on football, not beating on women and stuff like that. Also, All-Pro wide receiver speedster Tyreek Hill. He also had an incident going on, so hopefully they can um, um, put that in the rearview mirror and focus on the 2019 football season. Now, Matthew Stafford for the Detroit Lions. This is 22 of 32. His running back core is Kerryon Johnson. He averaged 5.4 yards per carry. Also, wide receivers Kenny Goaday. I'm trying to say his name right. Also, Marvin Jones as well. So, and also Detroit brings in newcomer Danny Amendola. He's over there with Detroit. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a threat there for that team this year. So, Kirk Cousins with the Minnesota Vikings. Devin Cook was injured, so hopefully he will be back and ready to play. Also, they have Stephon Diggs and at wide receiver, Stephon Diggs and Andrew Thielen. So they're gonna be another threat. Also, Kyle Rudolph is a tight end as well, and also they also have Ivan Smith from Alabama. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a very productive year with Minnesota, and they're going to be a very potent threat to the NFC North. Also, Carson Wentz, after signing that $128 million contract, his key players for the Philadelphia Eagles, they look as the key for the Eagles. They have Corey Clement, Josh Adams, Wendell Wendell Smallwood. Also, they have Alshon Jeffries, Nelson Aguera. Can't say his name. Deshaun Jackson. So they're gonna have some, and then JJ a great Whiteside. JJ Whiteside could be an impact on the things. So I think it's so. That's okay. Dak Prescott from the Dallas Cowboys. We'll go ahead and go over his cast of characters for the NFL this year. We'll see. Let's go ahead and show you this. Okay. If you want to talk about that, he has Ezekiel Elliott. I'm pretty sure he'll have another breakout year. Ezekiel Elliott. Also Cooper. As well on the wide receiver side, and also the tight end position. Jason Witten is back, and Blake Jarwin also will be back on the team. So now Jimmy Garoppolo, this young man, he has to win. He has to win. Jimmy Garoppolo with the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco hasn't been irrelevant since the 2012 season. When they went to the Super Bowl. So they have to be irrelevant this year. So let's see. No teams voted. They have Tevin Coleman, Jarek, Kent McKinnon, and Matt Breida. I'm trying to say his name. It's B. Reida. Also, no establishment at wide receiver, elite wide receivers. So they don't have any wide receiver outfit. So they're going to have to build some, have to get somebody on that wide receiver core that's going to have to step up and be that elite wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. So also George Kittle, tight end. So I'm pretty sure, look, if San Francisco can get their wide receiver core going and get somebody that's going to step up, then they're going to be a pretty good team this year. But I don't see them winning more than 4 games this year. I really don't. So, okay, the next one is Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, 27 to 32. So we're near the end right now. 27 to 32. Andrew Luck. They made the playoffs last year. They made the playoffs, but they didn't get to the divisional round. So Mac had rushed for 115 yards 5 times, including the playoffs. So he's going to be a very productive player. T.Y. Hilton also had 1,000 yards last year, and also Ebron, he had 13 touchdowns last year. Now Matt Ryan, this is another team, the Atlanta Falcons. Look, I don't want to see them look. I hope they don't come up this year. I'll be honest with you. I just hope they don't come up this year. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. I'm not. I am a biased Saints fan, but to be honest with you, I'm really concerned about if Atlanta comes up this year. They can, because they had a pretty good draft, so I'm pretty sure that they will come up this year and will be a contender. They're a contender every year. I mean, hopefully that's not the case. If you're a Saints fan, so they have Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman was a 2-time Pro Bowler. Hopefully he don't come back and make. He will make an impact with them, but we're gonna have to play them 2 times a year. Now Julio Jones, he's always also Calvin Ridley and also Muhammad Samuel. That's one of the quality wide receivers that they have with the Atlanta Falcons. So look, I'm not gonna speak for the Saints, but hopefully, look, if we can contain those guys this year, that would be the big victory. Because recent years, I'm gonna tell you, in that game against when we was playing them in Atlanta, some of our wide cornerbacks were getting burnt. One of them was Crowley. He got burnt almost 2 times by Sanu and also Ridley, and also Julio Jones. So we're gonna have to be very careful with these with those wide receivers that they're gonna have. Make no mistake about it. They also have Tevin Coleman as well. So also tight end, they have Austin Hooper. He had 80.7 percentage and passes thrown to him. He also had 660 yards in the 3rd season. So Philip Rivers, Los Angeles Chargers. He has a running back and excuse me. Melvin Gordon. He's a Pro Bowler. So the wide receiver is Keelan Allen. He has 1,100 yards. Also a secondary wide receiver in Tyrell Williams and also Mike Williams as well. So they're going to be threatening the AFC West. Also Hunter Henry. He had a huge 18 season before torn his Achilles heel. So also the other Los Angeles team, Jared Goff and the Los Angeles Rams, the Super Bowl runner-ups. That player is Ty Gurley. He had 1,831 scrimmage yards and 21 touchdowns. So he's going to put up the scrimmage yards no matter what. He's also going to put up the yardage on running the football. So also they have a backup in Malcolm Brown. Has averaged 4.9 yards last season, so 4.9 yards. Also, Brandon Cook, you know him, former New Orleans Saint. Um, Robert Woods as well, almost at 1,200 yards last season. So that's gonna roll over to this season. So that's my take on that. Drew Brees, number 2, New Orleans Saints, 31. So this is what we're going to be talking about for us. We have Alvin Kamara. We also signed Latavius Murray, and we also signed another guy, running back for the Saints. So we did not that Mark Ingram trade, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it did not affect the Saints offense. So I don't know why people was crying about that Mark Ingram going from the Saints. I don't know why they was crying about it, because we got Murray. So that's one thing about it. We got Murray, and we'll be a good offense this year. So Michael Thomas, he had averaged 125 receptions for 1405. So that he had a pretty good year last year. But he has Austin Carr, Ted Ginn, Kurt Wood, Cameron Meredith. If he's healthy, we'll have a productive wide receiver core for the New Orleans Saints. So the tight end position with Josh Hill and Jared Cook, it's going to be pretty good. They're going to be throwing balls too. So Breeze will will distribute that wealth to everybody when he throws the ball. So that's one thing. We're not going to fall off the map anytime soon. So Baker Mayfield. Now this is going to be the biggest. This is going to be a very interesting year for the Cleveland Browns, because they went 7-8 last season. So they're probably going to improve on that record. They have running back Nick Chubbs in their arsenal. He is the 7th highest qualified marks in the NFL. So also they'll have pass catcher specialist Duke Johnson in the backfield. So he's going to be a very imminent threat with the Cleveland Browns. Also getting Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, and I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna be another post threat. They're gonna be a threat this year. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people's counting on Cleveland to get back to the their glory days. So of when they was winning championships and stuff like that. So I'm kind of a little enthusiastic about them, but here's the thing. Look, if they get those injuries and stuff like that, their season will be ain't worth the crap. So that will be the that's why they have to stay healthy throughout the whole entire 16 game season to make it worthwhile. So that is the last one. This is the every supporting cast for the quarterbacks in the NFL for this year 2019 season. This is from Bleacher Report. Okay, let's see what else we need to talk about today. We're about 1 hour into the show. I know nobody hasn't come in here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just do my show. Yeah. Anyway, just switch it over. Wait, give you a second. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about. Let's go ahead and give you an update on the U.S. Open that's in the at Pebble Beach, California. waiting a few minutes. Okay, everything's up. This is from Bleacher Report. This is from also from CNN. Um, the Percy is back on top. That's Scott Percy. He's back on top. So that was 2 minutes ago. Also, favorable course early. So that's what they're talking about. Also, um, here comes Ricky. That was Ricky Fowler. He was tied for the lead. Also, Stephen Williams moves to 2 under par in the um, U.S. Open. Also, let's see, Percy and reading this. So that's one of this is the pictures of the where the Neto Alert Lewis old. I mean, it's a hard name. It's a long name to pronounce, tricky name to pronounce. It's Oosthuizen. He is also second, just second in his in the 11th hole of the TaylorMade Golf. It's one of the updates right there about. Also, this is the leaderboard update at this hour. Percy 3 under par. Ram 3 under par. Eric Van Ruyen 2 under par. Olsen 2 under par. Fowler 2 under par. Haddon 2 under par. Woodland 2 under par, and also let's see, Osikin Yin. I'm trying to say his name. It's a hard name to pronounce. He is 2 under par, and 7 players 1 under par. So that's in the U.S. Open. That's from Bleacher Report. Let's see what else we need to talk about today. Okay, what else we need to discuss? I think we got covered. Okay, let's see what this is. It's NFL. Let's go ahead and give you this wide receiver court. Okay, Sean Jefferson on equate to as shit Stan Darno. He is a fucking dude. That's what he is. I mean, look, I don't know why they saying this stuff about this guy. It's dumb. Completely. The wide receiver coach had his expletive filled rave reviews of our quarterback. Excuse my French. He's a fucking dude. He is an effing dude. I am with an effing arm and blah 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 blah. I mean, look. I don't know why the media makes a big deal out of it. It's just a rave review on one of these on Sam Darnold, the quarterback of the New York Jets. So that is my take on it. So this is from Bleacher Report. Let's go ahead and see what we have on Yard Barker, and then we'll close it out for today. And we'll do the sports fit, the podcast later. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Dominican player embarrassed by the David Ortiz shooting. So I just hope to be honest with you, look, Eduardo Nunez, he's one of the players for the Red Sox. He said he was embarrassed for the attempted murder of David Ortiz. So I just hope, be honest with you, all these players that's coming from Canada, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and all that. Look, they got to be careful when you go into these nightclubs and stuff like that. Just stay away from those nightclubs. I know you want to go out and have fun and get drinks and all that, but be careful, folks. That's one thing you can't be doing during the season, because they're going to need you during the season. So hopefully that will set in. That this message that he did get shot. This can happen to you at any time, because people these days they're mad because they're some of them are losing their jobs and such and such. They're not happy about that, and then they see these ball players making tons of money, and they get jealous, and they want to have their rage again, take out their rage on players like that. Look, these players worked their ass off to get to the major leagues. They didn't have no shortcuts and none of that stuff. They didn't pay nobody to get into college and none of that. They busted their ass. That's one thing about it. I mean, for these people to shoot at a player like David Ortiz, look, that's an understatement right there. I mean, that's why I say, when you on social media and stuff like that, here's another thing. I mean, if you're writing something, look, and people will look at that stuff. People will say, "Well, why is this guy's doing this? Why this guy's doing that? Blah 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 blah." And they'll go on and on and on and on and on till their message gets across. But the truth of the matter is, look, here's the thing: when you do, when you go out to a club, just please be careful. I mean, because like I said, you can get your life taken in an instant. That's one thing I say. I mean, I'm not saying this just to tell people this. I'm saying this because it's the truth. Look at me. I mean, sure, I'm a nobody, but I can get shot at any time. I mean, because I do these shows, and somebody might not like me, but look, the thing is, you got to be careful in society. So, that's my take on it. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the show today. Go ahead and switch this out. We'll wrap this up and put this on and wrap this up. Okay, this concludes the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Thursday, June 13th. We'll be back later with the Sports Time New Orleans podcast. It will be live streamed for 30 minutes only. So if you want to come in and join that tonight, you're welcome to do it. Well, we welcome you anytime, as long as you don't come in here and be a troll and act like a troll and just mess up the show. So I do welcome people in here. I do welcome people to comment to me. So don't think I'm just doing this to be a total prick. I'm not a prick. I'm just running this show. I'm just controlling with everything that goes on here. So don't take it the wrong way. So for everybody else, we will be back later. Everyone on the East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, and across the country, everybody have a good rest of your Thursday afternoon.